stop. You are literally killing your camellias from these 5 critical mistakes. Well, a quick word of warning. This first mistake is a little bit sciencey. I will make it as simple as I possibly can, but if it's a little bit too much, just jump on to mistake number 2. If you don't know where it is, there will be a timestamp in the description, and I'll cover it really basically at the end so that you do know what we were talking about. But I love a bit of science because it all makes sense. Science, botany, horticulture. My 3 and my wife. Science, but the first critical mistake is to do with the chemical composition of the soil you are planting your camellias in. Specifically, whether it is alkaline or acidic. So it's all about the pH of your soil. But before we get into it, I'd just like to say that the biggest mistake that people make killing off their camellia is going to be in at number 5. So don't forget to miss that one, otherwise you'd have missed the whole point of this video. Ties it up all together really nicely. So your soil pH. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, it's all chemicals. It will make sense. It really is actually quite simple. It's only going to be one of 3 things. Your soil is either going to be neutral, which is boring, or it's going to be slightly acidic or slightly alkaline. It's going to be one of those. It doesn't matter where you are. That's kind of be the case. Now, the problem with camellias is that it has evolved to grow in acidic soils, and when you plant it in either neutral or alkaline soils, certain elements become unavailable to the root system. They just can't take it up. Now, when it comes to camellias, there are 2 which are a problem. First one is iron, the second one is magnesium. Again, don't worry about the fancy words, it's not really important. The problem with this is that the chlorophyll pigment, which is your green pigment that does all the work, converts all your sunlight into sugars, gives you energy. You like eating plants, don't you? Yes! It can't do it because it can't make that pigment. So where your camellia would normally be a gorgeous, lovely green colour, it will start to go yellow in alkaline or neutral conditions, and that's a bad thing. Because if the leaves have gone yellow, then it is lacking the chlorophyll pigment because the chlorophyll pigment is green. So if it's yellow and not green, that is bad. So this is what happens if it's not green and gone yellow. It doesn't have the pigment that produces the energy from the sunlight. Yes, we're talking about photosynthesis. And this means that the plant will tend to go dormant, it will struggle, it won't do much, won't put out much in the way of new leaf, won't really flower, it just runs out of energy, just sits there in some kind of dormant condition that really just looks awful. You don't want that. But it is actually very, very simple to resolve. All you got to do is make your soil a little bit more acidic. And there are a number of ways that you can do that. Consider this issue before you even plant it, and you won't even have to worry about it. Adding a product such as Sequestrene, that will put in a massive amount of iron and magnesium into the soil and slightly acidify it over time. That is one solution. Feed your camellia with a liquid soluble ericaceous, another word, feed. To be honest with you, I don't see the word ericaceous being used very much anymore because people are just too stupid. Not you and not you, but let's not talk about that guy. All you do, you mix it with water, pour it on with your normal watering can, and the job is done. Very simple, fixes it in a treat. If you are a bit of a deviant, and to be honest with you, you are also out there, you could also dilute down your own urine. It's not funny, it's an actual thing we used to do back in the day. Dilute it down, check the rates on the internet, because I'm not going to go into this subject any further than that, and you can pour that around the root system. Don't just do your business on it, because you damage the root systems. And there you go, mistake number one: what it is, what causes it, how to resolve it. It's not bad, is it? Bravo! Critical mistake number two is to do with watering, both overwatering and underwatering, which, if you're interested, is the biggest killer of all gardening plants. No! Although it's mostly overwatering, because people like to kill their plants with kindness. Now, camellias have evolved in these lush woodland forests found in China, in Japan, in Korea, which kind of explains why the soil is quite acidic, because you have all that leaf litter from the canopy above these plants. Now, in these woodland forests, you have very good drainage, but also the soil is almost permanently wet throughout the year, and this is what the roots require on your camellia plants. The roots do not like waterlogged conditions, because the roots can die, open up numerous infection points, and allow fungal infections into the plant, which can effectively kill them. Equally, you don't want your camellia roots to dry out, which is a bit of a problem here in England, because we tend to have drought periods over the summer. So you need to make sure that you go out there and water it. If these plants dry out, especially in the spring when you have your new leaves coming through, they'll just wilt, they can dry up and die, and that will really damage the plant. And it's on this new growth that you would have gotten next year's bloom. So not only have you damaged the plant, it's got stress, you've pushed it into a dormancy stage, you're not going to get any flowers, and it's wasted all that energy producing foliage that's just been killed off because you forgot to water your own plants. Good thing you don't do that to your own children. So, as I said earlier, overwatering, underwatering, two great ways to kill off your camellia plants. Critical mistake number three, and it's to do with sunshine. Okay, so we touched on earlier that camellias are a woodland plant, and as such they have a certain amount of shade, which is great. So now we know that. If you plant your camellia outside where it receives direct sun all day, you're going to have some problems. You're either going to have some bleaching of the leaves that will turn it yellow because it's killed off, like the top layer of the skin, the epidermis. These words crazy. But it can be worse. In hotter countries, you can get separation of the epidermis, and that can leave like a white looking coloration to the leaf. So quite a lot of severe damage. Again, stresses out the plant, stops it from working, the chlorophyll's in there, that's all been ruined by the sun. You need to make sure that when you're planting your camellias that they are protected from direct sun during the hottest part of the day. Plant them somewhere where you can get morning light, that's fine. Late afternoon, evening light, that's fine, but it's got to have that protection from direct sun at the hottest part of the day. And there's another thing regarding the flowers, and it's not going to kill your plant, but it is going to make it look shocking. If you've planted your plant where on a frosty day it's subjected to direct sun first thing in the morning, it will damage all your blooms. There'll be some horrible browning going off. It kills the cells within the petals. Nasty. Like I say, won't kill the plant. You might think it's got a problem. It's just this phenomenon. So no, don't have it available to morning sun, first thing early morning sun during frosty periods. If you live in a frost pocket, just be aware of that. Everybody else, you're probably absolutely fine. Just a little thing, a little extra bit of information for you when it comes to growing your camellias. Critical mistake number 4 is not keeping an eye on pests and diseases. When you have all the flush of new growth in the spring, these can be prone to attack from aphids. generally okay. You can generally spray for it, but what can happen is you have honeydew and sooty mold as secondary problems. So the aphid bites into a specialist cell known as a parenchyma cell. It's pressurized, so when they bite into it, you get sap shooting out into their guts and then out the back end, drops on the leaves below, all lovely and sugary, and then you get a black mold growing on it. If it's not a big problem, I won't really worry about it, but it can become quite a serious problem where all the leaves have gone black because of this massive infestation. And if the leaves have gone black, the sunlight can't get in, the chlorophyll can't produce sugars, and again you've got a plant that is looking weak, terrible, susceptible to other problems. But you know, you can get scale insects under the leaves, you can get attacked from various things, but the one I want to talk to you about is the dreaded vine weevil. Good thing is you can spot this without even seeing the plant, because it produces these characteristic notching along the edges of the leaves. And I know that's not a lot of damage, but that's not the damage I'm talking about. It's their grubs, their larvae that live in the root system. And while you can't see them, they'll be there eating away at all the roots. And if you have a big enough infestation, they'll rip right through that root system. And one day, in a gust of wind, the camellia is going to fall over, and you think, what the flip happened there? Well, if you kept your eye out, recognize those characteristic notches on the leaves, then you'd have known you got vine weevil. You don't see them very often. I'll throw up a picture so you see what it looks like. If you disturb them, they tend to drop to the floor. You just can't see them. It is nigh on impossible. There you go. Pests and diseases. Keep an eye on it. The vine weevil can be a massive problem with these plants. So here we are at the last mistake, critical mistake number 5. And you're not going to like this because it's growing your camellia in a pot. I knew you wouldn't like it. The problem with growing them in pots is it's really hard to create a stable rooting environment. It gets quite hot because it's not in the ground, it's raised, so it's subject to the air temperature. You water it, it gets too wet. You forget to water it, it gets too dry. It really struggles. They don't look very good in most cases. I'm sure yours looks absolutely fine, but they really struggle. They don't like it. They get very weak. They flower poorly. Flowers give up the ghost. It's open to more problems because it's in the weakened condition. I really wouldn't do it. If you are planting it in a pot, good luck. Make sure when you plant it, you buy yourself ericaceous compost. It might not say that in the bag. It might just say rhododendron, camellia, magnolia compost, but it's an acidic compost, perfect for your camellia. Remember what I said in mistake number 1, where if you skipped it, that's basically all you needed to do. Just plant it in some acidic compost. It's a big problem with them. But there you go. There are other mistakes that you can make with these plants. And if you've got one, put that in the comments. We would genuinely love to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope that made sense. And I hope you got some benefit from that information in order to make your camellia a better looking plant. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.